Well, it's episode 1 of season 11, and this is new. We're gonna go bass fishing. Original Dave. Well, there is one original thing about this episode. Dave actually catches them. Okay, who wrote this? Watch as Dave brings the thunder for the battle at Beauchene.
There he is. That's him this time. Oh man. Easy.
In a land like no other. On a lake like you've never seen. Well, maybe you've seen lakes like this. But there is an angler so great, he once set the hook so hard he turned a smallmouth into a largemouth. He can unscramble an egg. He made his first cast at the age of 3 and it landed yesterday. We join him to chronicle one day on one lake. This is Facts of Fishing, the show.
Down the odds.
Here we go. Welcome to Facts of Fishing, the show. Brought to you by Bass Pro Shops. Your adventure starts here. Yamaha, Conquer Water. Phoenix Bass Boats. Experience the Phoenix difference. Live Target. Lifelike Lures. Action Car and Truck Accessories. The right customer experience. And Jackal. Eat, sleep, Jackal.
It was a quiet time, not a settling time at the Battle of Beauchene. Mama would keep the house and all those that would ever approach in safety and out of harm's way while I was in the fields battling the bass. These bass thought they were mighty, but mighty was not a phrase they understood until I rained my particular brand of filthy, nasty punishment on these vermin. There he is. That's him this time. Oh man. Easy. Good one, dude. Look at him. Look at that fish. I mean, we're way up north. I mean, these are not Lake Erie smalljaw we're talking about here. I mean, those Lake Erie smalljaw, they just get giant and super, super thick. But these dudes, I mean, it takes them a lot longer to get big. But this dude is an absolute chunk. And I'll be honest, there is a part of me that's a little nervous that I'm telling you guys about cruising a crosstail, because this is an awesome, awesome little secret that a handful of anglers have held on to for a long, long time. And as you can see, that's with very good reason.
This segment is brought to you by ARE Truck Caps. ARE, outfit for life.
These fish are clearly willing to engage in my form of battle. You see, my friends, I'd like to welcome you to a little battle. The Battle of Beauchene. See, things have been too good for too long around here. And see, it says me and these psychopathic smalljaw have got a score to settle. And there's only one way to settle a score. And I do love settling scores. You know. If you know what I mean. There we go. Oh, another big one. Stay out of the tree. It's the fish capades. That is what makes these fish so awesome, honestly. I mean, I hate all those cheesy fishing analogies you hear. Pound for pound, these are the strongest fish in mankind, all that crap. I mean, it is true, they're absolutely crazy, but it's all about the jump. Whether it's a tarpon or a smallmouth bass, seeing that fish leave the water, something really, really cool about that. And maybe it's just simply because being a bigger guy, I have a trouble leaving the air, getting in the air myself. And these dudes right here, they don't have any troubles at all. Pretty decent chunk right there. Whew. See ya. See the way I'm working that bait? I mean, it isn't anything really aggressive. It's just a slow, steady move. I mean, there's times when I'll just slowly crank it along, but pretty much, I call it cruising because that bait cruises. You know, you hit it and then it flows. You hit it and then it flows. And it just cruises its way back to the boat. Other than a few, you know, the hits today have not been crazy. You know, they don't freight train it. Every once in a while, you'll bring it over a fish and it'll kind of hammer it. But a lot of times, you know, the hits, they just kind of come behind it and push that bait, inhale it. It's just an easy meal. Fish don't think out situations. Fish just react to the situation they're in. They don't say, I think I'm gonna eat. Oh, here comes a bait. Maybe it's num-num time. No, there's none of that. It's not an easy world that these fish live in. And when an easy opportunity flies past them, they can't pass it up. And that's exactly what cruising this little bad boy is all about. Oh, ate it, big one, giant. There's a battle going down. And I do love the battle. Relax. Easy now. What we have here is failure to say no to the cruising crosstail. They cannot deny the power of this tasty little morsel. Everything wants to eat it just like this. Oh. It has been nice dueling with you, my friend. And a mighty duel it has been. We all know how it would end. With misery for the silly small jaw.
The replay of the day is brought to you by Action Car and Truck Accessories. Whether it's your work truck, fishing truck, or just your daily ride, Action has got you covered. Action, the right customer experience.
Oh, yes! Oh, my word! I've been battling all day. Correction, I've been battling my whole life. Battling's all I know. My daddy was a battler. My daddy's daddy was a battler. Fish. Oh, good one. Big wallowing freak nasty. Comes eating. Look at that fish right there. Big wallowing freak nasty. Awesome, awesome fish. It is so crazy how effective. Yeah, that's right. Fish poo on your finger, but it's okay. I'm committed to these guys. They can poo on me. I mean, it's like your baby. I mean, your baby poos on you. It's not that gross, is it? Look, I mean, that fish hasn't even left. Look at him. He knows I'm his friend. He's gonna jump. That's what he does. That's what friends do for friends. Look at him, just hanging out. And while he does that, I'll turn my attention to my other friends. It is crazy how effective this technique is. And I'll be honest, it's been something I've been thinking about for a while, saying I gotta do a show, I gotta do a show. I'm telling you, the best thing you can do with baits, it doesn't matter what bait it is. Everybody searches for that secret lure. You know, everybody thinks, oh, KVD's using something that nobody can use, or, you know, all these different pros are using something that nobody else can use. They're all using the same baits. The biggest secret, the real hidden secret about professional anglers is they don't just do what the bait says on the package. And that's a prime example of cruising a crosstail shad. It honestly is one of the #1 drop shot baits in the world. No pro will argue. I don't care who they're sponsored by, but that's almost the only thing people do with it. Throw this bad boy on a jig head, start cruising it, and they, as you can see, will start crushing it. You know, one of the key components of how we're catching these fish here today is right here. And, you know, we don't do a lot of crazy product stuff on Facts of Fishing, but I'm gonna tell you, Mega Imaging blows me away, honestly. You know, side imaging was such an innovation, you know, to be able to see out the side of your boat, to be able to see structure from above, not just that 2D, you know, view that we have. With Mega Imaging, you see every single detail. You know, you work the whole way along this break, and I'm marking, you know, not just big boulders, I'm marking individual pebbles and rocks. It just changes your outlook. And the more you know about the area you're fishing, I mean, I say this all the time, the more you actually know about that area, the more you can understand. That's why a lot of anglers are better anglers when they fish shallow, when they have visible structure, because they know what they're fishing. When you get offshore and you're fishing blindly, it becomes a lot tougher. So the more educated you are, the area that you're fishing, and today we've just been keying in on that transition from 12 feet right up to the shore and throwing this bait around. I mean, there's logs, pebbles, you can see that entire edge there. That's the beauty right there. Look at that edge, and that has that turns, and you can mark it the whole way. That's our boat line, and you see that edge kind of peaks out here. So what I'll do when I'm working, whoop, watch your rocks, keep trimmed up, it's important. But no time for trimming up when we're marking spots. Look what I'm doing right here. Just zoom that over to the spot, hit mark, and now I have an actual waypoint marked in that spot. So as I idle along here, I'll work that entire transition, and I can just, it speeds up your fishing time. But as I always tell you, safety's important, and make sure you're trimmed up around obstructions. I did that just to show you how these mistakes can happen when you get excited about little green fish. Oh, big one. Another big one. Man, this is awesome. I mean, we got a late start getting out here today. And I mean, it's not even dinner time. And we have absolutely blistered these fish. And I mean, they're all different sizes, some of them bigger, some of them smaller. But it is amazing the number of fish this technique will get you. I mean, it is a plain and simple numbers game. And when you get a lot of numbers, every once in a while, you get yourself a pretty good one. And today, I would say, my friends, we have got our share. Let's just say this little cheetah pack, we have done some feasting.
To book your trip of a lifetime at Beauchene Wilderness Lodge, visit Beauchene.com. This segment is brought to you by Hook Performance Fishing.
Yes! Oh my word! That dude smoked it. Wow, that was awesome. There's no way to explain what he did other than, I don't know if you guys realize this, if you ever watched the Bassmaster weigh-in. As a kid, I was kind of a fishing geek and a wrestling geek. I don't know if you realize, I have some influences from there. But this dude, Bundy, splashed that bait. And it was awesome to visually see them just roll up on this bait. And I think that's what it is. I mean, it looks so natural, so real. And as it just rolls over them, it's just like, you know, if a little bait fish swam by, I mean, poof, they have to hit it. And it really is that T-shaped tail. I mean, I'm not a biologist. I mean, I don't even know how to spell biologist. Literally, if there was a spelling bee right now and biologist was the question, I'd probably be screwed. But what I can tell you is whatever that vibration is that bait puts on, that fish feel, it makes them want to eat. And that makes me a very, very happy dude. There he is. I smoked it. Gone. That's nothing but an evil devil fish right there. I have battled with him twice, and twice I have lost. I will not lose thrice. Battle me again. He's come back. This would be so much more impressive if this fish was a giant. But then again, that would probably make you realize you're not watching Facts of Fishing. But that is a prime example. I hooked that fish got off, threw right back in, and he ate it. One of the little tricks you want to get into when you're rigging this bait, you want it to be straight and you don't want any kink in that bait. You want it to be totally centered because remember, you're swimming the bait. And when you're swimming the bait, I mean, any little kink, that bait's gonna twist and turn. So I'm gonna make sure that's really straight. But another thing I'm gonna do with these baits is, and any bait, is I'm gonna lay it down to see where it pops out so I know when I'm rigging it. One of the cool things with these baits and the dual colored crosstails, it just seems if you come in at the bottom of that second color, it is the perfect spot to pop this bait back out and make sure it is totally straight. And again, that troll barb holds it right back up there. So you're gonna be able to swim that bait straight and true. And that bad boy right there, that tail, I mean, it adds so much action as you swim that bait. And just as it falls, remember when that's falling, all that water pressure is pushing that tail up, making it fight the whole way. And whatever that does under the water, I mean, I'm not a fish, I don't have a lateral line, I don't know what they feel, but I know they eat it. You don't pay anything. Oh. Oh. This is honestly one of the coolest ways to fish. I mean, honestly, I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't care. I'll just use honestly a couple more times because it really just seems fitting, because I'm being very honest right now. But I don't care where you're fishing. I mean, if you're in open water and you're anywhere where a bass lives, largemouth, smallmouth, spotted bass, I'm gonna tell you, you throw this bait and a certain population that lives in that body of water is gonna munch it. It's just that little bait. You know, everyone's got them. You know, over the years, you accumulate different ones and ones that you get faith in, but it's just that fancy little bait, that special little bait that fish just munch. And as he cruises away, I'll remind you the name of this technique, cruising a crosstail with Dave Mercer. It's been fun. Not so much with you, nor you, but that's right. you. Right there. Thank you. And good night.
Dave fished for 8 hours, made 403 casts, and caught 18 fish. That's a success rate of 4.5%, and it only took him 11 seasons to get there. That's the score. Now time for the facts. Dave caught all 18 fish cruising a 3-inch crosstail shad on an 1/8-ounce Eagle Claw Trokar swim bait head. Fished on a 7-foot 6-inch medium action spinning rod, spooled up with 10-pound braided line and a fluorocarbon leader. And that's the facts.